Okay, and this is the second video as promised. If you're just coming into this right now, this is a long story about how someone who allegedly works for the Legacy UAP program contacted me and began to leak information and images. The full playlist is going to be up there in a card in the video, and also links to all the previous videos before this are going to be in the description below. And with that, let's start this video. So in the previous video, I ended on question 11. Here's question 12. And these are all questions that I sourced. Well, these are questions that I sourced from a live stream from you all, and then I kind of like condensed down a bit, and then the ones that he chose to answer out of those. So here we go. At the end, I'm also going to show the 3 remaining pictures that he gave me in this PDF. We'll go from there. Question number 12. Given the nature of the phenomena and your experience with it, which do you believe is more likely? That the entities are benevolent, malevolent, or indifferent towards us? What do you believe their motives may be? Indifferent, unclear for now. Their behavior doesn't suggest overt hostility, but their technological superiority means that if the stance shifts, the consequences would be catastrophic. The motives of these entities remain unclear, ranging from simple observation and data collection to potential reconnaissance for future strategic actions. Question number 13. I know this is a big one. You guys asked me several times to redraw some of the images from the second drop that right after sending them to me, he had me blur out and not show. Those images, I believe, were not necessarily of UAPs. They were of like advanced military aircraft. Anyways, I have been asked to redraw the images you asked me to blur out. I responded by saying I need permission first. My drawings would be rather elementary, and I'd pass them by you first before showing them. Would you be comfortable with this? If not, I understand. And his response, no. Even simplified recreations can compromise operational security. Nathan, I'm Nathan by the way, has been more than respectful by following my wishes, and I deeply appreciate that. His integrity should be respected. If he were to backtrack now, what would that say about his character? Maybe the government does want certain things released to lay the groundwork for transparency, but you can't push too far without provoking consequences. So, no, I can't draw them for you guys. Question number 14. How does the program know about these entities? No need to go into any specifics, but is their origin and purpose known, or are there just theories? And his answer: the Legacy program operates like a series of nested Matryoshka dolls. The Legacy program operates like a series of nested Matryoshka dolls, with each layer concealing the next, built on a strict need-to-know basis. Even within the program, personnel are compartmentalized to the point that many remain unaware of the full scope or details of its operations. Some suggest interdimensional origins, while others lean toward off-world factions. Might need to go further upstairs. Okay, question 15. Why do you believe there appear to be so many different types of UAPs regarding shapes, etc.? Why do you believe there appear to be so many different types of UAPs regarding shapes, etc.? Just a difference in functionality, or perhaps different factions? Functionality appears to be the driving factor. Orbs seem specifically designed for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance missions, while cruciform-class entities are built for high-energy tactical engagements. There's credible speculation that these different forms may represent distinct factions or entities, each with its own technology and objectives. One incident stands out. A cruciform-class entity was observed pursuing a different class of UAP at extremely high speeds, displaying behavior that I can only describe as highly aggressive. They remind me of orcas and the way that they operate, and to be honest, they're downright unsettling. See attachment. The attachment is of these images here. Let me move myself. I believe that this is an orb class or something, and then this is a cruciform class, and then again, you get the cruciform class having some interaction with the orb class. I know I've mentioned the Nuremberg incident of 1561 a lot. There's a woodcut where a guy describes what's going on, and it's crosses and balls fighting in the air, which is really creepy. So these are the pictures he's referencing here. All right, Even the seemingly passive orbs, which primarily seem to gather data, tend to assert dominance subtly. Pilots frequently report an overwhelming sensation of being watched on the return flights, often without these entities appearing on radar or sensor systems. Imagine you're flying in pitch black conditions, relying solely on your targeting systems and avionics, yet you visually spot one of these objects shadowing you at a distance. So a cruciform class. Imagine this cross in the sky, and you're flying your $100 million aircraft, and this cross is just like there. It doesn't display aggression, but the implication is clear. It could easily bypass every defensive system on your $100 million aircraft and render it obsolete in moments. That presence alone is enough to remind our pilots just how far beyond us these entities truly are. Question number 16. When do you think open contact will occur, if it will ever occur? His response, it's safe to say, based on observations, when it happens, it will be on their terms, not ours, which, I mean, makes sense. That's a very unsettling statement to me. Question number 17. Did the sender crop the images to make the UAP all the same size in the images? This is in reference to images that I showed in other videos that I was provided with. Or is there a way to gauge the size in the redacted data? The cropping was deliberate to ensure consistency. I'm not exactly sure what that means. However, the size estimates are probably using telemetry. However, the size estimates are possibly using telemetry and radar data, which were included in the redacted metadata. And here, I'm pretty sure he's just referencing, for example, here, this is the UI of however this picture was taken. And I mean, it's all redacted or blurred out. So yeah, you could tell things from it, but we don't get that information. All right, question number 18. Can he or she, the leaker, the person who contacted me, describe in detail the physical characteristics, behavior, and origin of the beings associated with these UAPs, and how their technology fundamentally differs from anything on Earth? And the response was a smiley face. Question number 19. Have you had any personal first-hand experience with extraterrestrials or UAPs? Their answer, yes, I have. It was during my tenure within intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance operation under U.S. So what this acronym here means is United States Indo-Pacific Command. One particular case involved an object detected at high altitude displaying erratic, non-ballistic flight patterns that defied conventional understandings of physics. Despite the use of state-of-the-art sensors, data collection was hindered by the object's counter-surveillance measures. Question number 20. If non-human intelligence were already embedded within our society, what would be the first signs the public might notice? And the response was a smiley face. Take that for what you will. Question 21. How does the technology studied in UAP programs compare to the most advanced technologies we've seen emerging in the private sector? Their answer, UAPs operate beyond TRL-9, which I'll explain what that is in a second, suggesting tech at least centuries ahead. Even the most advanced private sector technologies, like those emerging from DARPA or skunkworks, don't approach the capabilities observed in these crafts. What is TRL-9? TRL-9 stands for Technology Readiness Level 9, which is the highest level on the TRL scale. The TRL scale is a measurement system used to assess the maturity of a technology, ranging from basic research, TRL-1, to full deployment and operational use, TRL-9. Basically, at TRL-9, the technology has been proven in an operational environment through successful real-world missions, field tests, or in production, is fully integrated and functional within its intended system or environment, is no longer experimental, but is considered ready for commercial or operational development. And then even the most advanced private sector technologies, like those emerging from DARPA or skunkworks. DARPA, if you didn't know already, is the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. And skunkworks, I believe, is part of Boeing. And it's the same thing, like their advanced research, part of that company. Question number 22. Have you worked with any of the public figures in regards to UAPs, like any of the whistleblowers that are known? Have you worked with any of the public... Have you worked with any of the public figures in regards to UAPs, like any of the whistleblowers that are known? Answer, nope. Question 23. Is the legacy program strictly concerned with the current situation, and is their aim strictly to increase current capabilities to counter the threat? Answer: primarily yes. The main aim is to understand, monitor, and respond to potential threats posed by UAPs. However, there are elements within the program that see the potential for scientific and technological advancements if a clear threat is not evident. This dual-purpose approach allows for the integration of R&D initiatives focused on applying new findings to defense and technology. Question 24. Would you be able to tell me what the original resolution of the images were, or just a few of them? That depends on which intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance platform the images were taken with. Hell, even the infamous Tic Tac videos look low-res. As platforms approach UAPs, systems often experience failure. And this is an important point. Luis Elizondo talks about this in his book as well. Like, these things appear to have active technology that's jamming radar or just messing up things that are trying to capture them doing whatever they're doing. Targeting pods and sensors go haywire due to radiation or whatever counter-surveillance capabilities these objects have. Intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance platforms are forced to keep their distance, and we're lucky to capture anything at all. Occasionally, there's an opportunity for close-up footage, but that proximity comes with risks. These objects can become very aggressive. Question 25. Are UAPs a threat? Answer: potentially. Their capabilities suggest that, if hostile, they could bypass all known defenses. However, no direct aggression has been observed on a large scale. And that's the end of the questions, and this is the end of the email that he sent me. I understand that some of you may be frustrated if this is my final communication, expecting me to release everything at once. However, as I've mentioned before, I rushed into the decision to become a whistleblower and have since realized the need to prioritize a secure and peaceful future. I'd rather live comfortably than risk everything. Perhaps our paths will cross again someday. Only time will tell. To any future whistleblowers watching, I encourage you to reach out to Nathan. This feels weird reading about yourself. He's proven his integrity, and his community offers strong support. Exactly what you need in this process. Nathan, if I choose to contact you again in the future, I will use the following name. And that is the end of that email. And then the attachment right here with the 6 pictures. I showed the first 3 pictures in the video yesterday. These. And the next 3 pictures are these. So we have this one, which it's in color. I'll completely remove myself, actually, so you get the full image. It's in color. It looks like it's desaturated a little bit. And to me, this really looks like he photocopied this, like it was scanned, or perhaps it was just like a really old photo in a file somewhere. And I'm not sure, but I mean, you can tell just looking at the noise in the photo and stuff like that. And yeah, this could be easily made in any number of programs, but I hope we're past that. Okay, the 4th picture is, the 5th picture is this one. It appears to be an IR image of a cruciform class entity. Now, someone did ask me in the comments if there were any images of a cruciform class entity that were not using IR. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that one of the images that I was not allowed to show is an image of a cruciform class entity that has color. The color's black, and that's all I'm going to say about that. And the 6th image is this one. The 6th and final image is this one. Also looks scanned. A lot of the UI is blurred out or redacted. Obviously, yeah, you can see all the noise in the photo. Honestly, and you can see like a scratch. Wait, is that a scratch on my screen, or is that a scratch on the actual? Oh, okay, I feel like a dumbass. That was a scratch on my screen. But you can you can see like the noise in this image, and I would love for another person to do like a crazy image analysis on this and all the other ones. It appears that the lettering in the UI has some sort of white font with a bit of a drop shadow. So I have no idea what this is. Obviously, it's a ball, an orb class. As far as I know, unless there's something better, this appears to be one of the best close-up photos that I have ever seen of one of these. At the same time, it's like, okay, well, we want to see what these things look like, and well, as we've kept seeing, they just look like shapes. You know what? I just realized this. Interestingly, okay, so first off, you can start to get some sort of idea of perhaps what this material is on the outside due to how the sun here is reflecting off of this. And you could also, you might also be able to think of a different, interpret some sort of time of day, or maybe like latitude or something like that based upon that. As you can see, there appear to be clouds in the background, but apparently the sun is not obscured whatsoever. Furthermore, I want to zoom in. Furthermore, I can't tell if this is just noise or yeah. Okay, I think it's just noise in the image. Yeah, you might be able to judge a lot of things by how the sun is reflecting off this object, and I hope someone does that. Very interesting. So I guess it looks like it could be it's either early in the morning or it's close to sunset, in my opinion. If you assume that right here is around where the horizon is, and then there's mountainous terrain. In the mountainous terrain, I wonder if like GeoGuessr or GeoWizard could figure this out a bit better. In this mountainous terrain, I'm trying to look at the vegetation. I don't know what type of vegetation this is. It looks a little deserty. I'm not sure. Also, it looks like there's something down here. I can't make it out. Yeah, I bet someone might be able to figure out where this is. It's like there's like a pattern in these mountain peaks here too. No vegetation there that I can really see. And there's the fact that there are clouds. It means it's very likely that it's not some sort of like a deserty area. Because back when I used to do astrophotography, you're always looking for places that don't have any clouds. You can take images of the stars. One of the tricks that I learned was if you go and look on Google Maps, then if you find somewhere that's just like not green, basically, that means there's never going to be any clouds there, or there rarely will be clouds there. Because if there were, then it would be raining, and there would be water for the plants to grow. So there are some clouds here. That's kind of a key, but not clouds on the other side. So some sort of mountainous environment with not too much vegetation. This looks like it could have been, I'm not sure, a geologist could probably explain how this geological formation formed better. Man, I'd really love for someone to try and figure out where this is. In this one too, there aren't many clouds. Once again, there's one cloud, but like the presence are, as I was saying, both the presence or absence of clouds say something, as well as the type of clouds. I don't know. Now, from the images that I showed you, I once again want to prove that they're not on Google Images at the time of me searching for them, just to kind of clarify that they're original. So we got this number 4 picture, anything like it, find image source. We got this one right here. Don't really see anything like it. These are scientific papers on some other stuff anyway. Actually, none of these even look like I feel like these cruciform class ones must be very rare. Okay, there's one. All right, find image source. Nothing. All right, and the 6th one. So we got that. Nothing. And find image source. Nothing. Finally, I want to add in that my email is right here. It's the same email that if you click on the About section of the YouTube channel, you'll find. Want to contact me for some reason? There it is. In regards to what was said at the end of the email from the leaker about me being someone that I guess you should leak to if you're a whistleblower. In addition to this, someone did contact me who apparently provides whistleblower assistance. This is Tyler Zaratic. You can read the email here, But if you are considering whistleblowing or you're wanting to share stuff, I can put you in touch with this person, or I guess you could just reach out to them directly, just so you feel a little bit safer about what you may be about to do. I'm going to assume there are people out there who want the actual files I have and also want to support my pursuit of all of this. So I had an idea. Some of you may think this is a bit sus, and others will hopefully gladly join in, but I'm going to just pitch it to you anyway. Here's my offer to you. I'm creating a new $5 tier on my Patreon page. If you join that tier, I'll provide all the documents I got from the leak exactly as I received them. I'm not changing any metadata. There actually really isn't any metadata anyway. And for the second drop of images where I was asked to blur certain parts, those will remain blurred. You're not going to get an unblurred version or anything you haven't already seen in the videos, but you'll get the original files. Maybe you want to do some sort of analysis or something. I'm not really sure. I also can't say that you're going to get high resolution versions of what I've already shown in the videos either. In addition to this, I'll compile all of the emails I've shown in the email. In addition to this, I'll compile all of the emails I've shown in the videos into one PDF for convenient analysis. I'll also convert them into a text format so it's even easier to search through if you want. I want to make this very clear though. There won't be anything that I did not show in the videos. That's extremely important because otherwise people might think I'm just trying to profit off of this, or this is all hoax once again. You'll get the original files, the emails, and all of that stuff in a zip file. You'll get to join a community and help me continue this pursuit. One thing I want to say is that I don't just want to be the guy who's reposting UFO stuff like, oh, here's another video, here's another image, here's another anecdote, something you've already seen or heard of. I don't want to fall into that group of people. The goal is new knowledge, new information. I'll also get the Discord working again, and there will be a community you'll get to join, pending enough people join. The Discord will be free though. Now, let me tell you what my real goals are moving forward and why that requires some funding. First off, I want to go to UAP hotspots and live stream there. As far as I know, no one's done that, and I think it would add some credibility to what's being captured instead of just recording data. You'll get to see it live. Furthermore, I like to do things like, in the area, put up various false positives. For example, a balloon in the sky in certain countries, they'll put a balloon in the sky and light it on fire to celebrate something, and that'll look like a UAP. I like to do these in a UAP hotspot and then see how the cameras capture them so we have a control for what that looks like at that spot. And we can do this in various ways. Number two, I want to involve and invoke science as much as possible. I want to become much more involved in Avi Loeb's Galileo project from Harvard University. The reason for that is he's taking a scientific approach and they're collecting their own data. I want to integrate as much science as possible into this whole UAP thing instead of just showing or looking at pictures or anecdotes, which I feel like we've all seen enough of. They have their place, but I think you understand. Number three, in the book Imminent by Luis Elizondo, one of his scientifically minded colleagues goes into some detail that begins to make sense and initiate the seeds of actual science that is somewhat tangible regarding these UAPs. He manages to go over a theory that pulls things down from that just appears like pure magic all of us feel about these things. And I want to try to see if I can connect those dots and take the theory as far as possible with my very highly perceived science-minded friends such as Om Trivedi and others, along with my own research. I want to attempt to begin to somehow think about how these things work from an engineering standpoint. Four, I'd like to hire an editor and someone to help me do research so I can focus more on the content, and you all will hear me say fewer things and be a lot more organized and efficient. It took me 3 hours to edit this video down. That's why I hadn't done it before. I didn't think it was the best use of time, but it's a lot more quick. I need to be able to hire someone to help, and that requires at least some money. Number five, I will say that if I continue on my pursuit and am able to connect some of these dots scientifically to perhaps how these things work, which Luis Elizondo covers in his book, as I just mentioned, then maybe that will push some sort of progress forward. It's a long shot, but I do know the scientists, and I think this is what I really want to pursue. There's also a woman named Dr. Diane Powell. This gets back into you may have heard sometime around the Phoenix UFO sightings where it felt like the people who saw those lights had voices or were hearing things. People were like, talking to them telepathically. Well, Dr. Diane Powell, and this is probably from about 6 years ago, discovered that certain nonverbal autistic children could read the minds of their caretakers. So she did a mini study with 3 or 4 kids. It's on a video on Vimeo, and I can actually link these too and Patreon. And basically, the kids are just telling these people in a controlled setting what numbers are in their hands. They're like 30-digit numbers or something like that. They're literally reading their minds. She attempted to get that research crowdfunded. I've talked to her before, but it was so on the edge of science, it was pseudoscience-y, that she couldn't get it crowdfunded and couldn't run the study. I'd like to try to help her with that if I could. Further, I'd like to grow my platform more so I will potentially attract more people who want to whistleblow, as was done this week to me, apparently. I've managed to gain trust with one person, which I hope entails other people who may be on the fence, potentially putting their trust in me as well. The more of a community, the more pushing, the more connecting we do, the closer we get to the truth, and of course, maybe HD videos. Right now, I'm a one-man team. Expanding that team so that certain tasks can be offloaded will dramatically increase my ability to pursue these goals. My channel may have 2 million subscribers, but a long legal battle starting in 2017 and the destruction that followed decimated this channel until this month. For a very long time, the channel would only make about $50 or $100 a month because views are what really matter, and the algorithm wasn't being too favorable to me. I was taking jobs doing consulting, YouTube consulting work, and helping people with their YouTube channels, but I don't feel like that's my destiny, nor do I think it's what I want to do. I want to work on this, but that requires that this is generating money. This month, I have finally made over $1,500 in ad revenue, which is awesome. Like, this is crazy. It's not crazy to what the channel used to make, but I'm going to need more than that to really do things right and the things I want to do. Consistency is essential. That's why Patreon is essential. It creates consistency. If you pledge $5, you'll be billed $5 every month until you cancel, and I get that money, which creates consistency for me and allows me to go and pursue more stuff without worrying about trying to find people to do consulting gigs for. So if you want to join, go to patreon.com/strangemysteries, or click on the link in the description, or click on the card up here that you see. So I did have a big Patreon campaign going for this channel probably like 6 years ago, and it was doing really well until everything happened to the channel. So I had to clean up the Patreon page a bit, but if you go there now, you will be very quickly directed to joining the $5 tier that I'm talking about here, and then you will get access to the stuff that I was talking about, the documents. Anyone who is currently a Patreon, there aren't many, but if we get this going, it appears that the fact that you stay with me for this long might finally pay off. And I can't say how appreciative I am of those people. So if you go and you become a $5 Patreon, you'll help me pursue these things I mentioned and push the needle even more.